Somehow I managed to cut y'all off. Let's get back to it on this side. I'm at a really weird angle and I'm trying to see what's best and how to show y'all but still be able to actually see myself and not end up with two brows that look crazy looking. Okay, so let's try this. Still really, really awkward. Doing the left-hand side is always kind of awkward for me though too. My brows for some reason have two different shapes, and no matter how many times you pluck them or let them grow out and repluck them, they still want to keep that same odd funky shape on one side, so working with them is kind of complicated. And again, I'm just lightly tapping this brush in that liner because I kind of want it to be kind of light as I'm starting off. That way if I do, you know, get out of line of where I want to be, I can still kind of correct it myself before I have to go back with the concealer. And then I'll just kind of fill in and darken it a little bit once I do get it exactly where I want it. So we've outlined that bottom there. We're going to go ahead and go onto the top. And remember, we're going to start with a natural line and then we kind of go back in. So that's kind of following my natural line there. See, that's not a very pretty, see the difference? It's not a very pretty shaped brow. Or should I say it's not what I'm going for. Okay, when I line mine up, and sometimes it still doesn't make them completely even, but this is the way I do it. If you'll take your brush and kind of look straight into the mirror and line it up with the middle of your arch like that, and kind of see where it lines up with your eye. Like you see how mine kind of lines up like over here with the side of my iris. That's the way I'm going to kind of try to line it up over here. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to look straight into the mirror again, line up my brush, and just kind of mark very lightly where I want the top of my brow to be. Can you see where I did that? And just like I said, don't worry about that mark because you can clean it up with concealer and you won't ever see it, I promise. Because the concealer is amazing. So, still going in with the number 2, dark color. We're going to make our arch where we want it. And see, you can still kind of wipe at it too. And remember what I told you, making these things even can be a catastrophe. But hang in there, because the more you do this, the better you're going to get at it. It just takes practice. Anybody can do it. You don't have to be a professional. I'm not a professional. I'm a mama of 4 kids. Let's face it, like, it's hard to even find time to do brows. But because doing my makeup makes me feel pretty every day, makes me feel like $1,000,000, you just gotta sometimes take the time for yourself, sit back, do it anyway. So, alright, let's see about filling this in, kind of going back around the outside a little bit and lining it up. Making it a little bit more even because we kind of got that wavy brow going on, and I'm sorry, but I don't care what the new trend is. I'm not trying to have no wavy brow. Some of them Snapchat filters really got me wondering. Okay, So now let's go back in. We're going to fill it in, same dark shade, up until about right here, because remember we want to use our lighter color to be able to blend. And y'all, it doesn't honestly take this long to get it all done. It's just sitting here talking and explaining it. It kind of drags it out. So don't get discouraged and think that it's going to sit there and take you forever to do your makeup every day if you do it like this. It really doesn't. And the more that you do it, the quicker that you'll be at it. And it's really, really simple. It's just kind of want to slow it down for y'all and kind of show you exactly what I'm doing and give you kind of a heads up on what's going on here. Sorry, I had that one. There was a piece over there that was kind of bugging me. Alright, so let's keep on with this side. And hope that they're even. Okay, let's go in with this lighter color. Raw Artist palette. Okay, and this is the medium brunette. Is the color that I'm using. Now, is it gonna focus for you? Yeah, there it goes. Okay, this is the medium one. There is a darker palette, but however, like you can see, I have really dark hair. I color it dark. My husband's turning me gray, so we gotta do something about this mess. So, I still use the brunette because I don't want it to be so dark that they look overwhelming. Now, honestly, you could even use the blonde palette because they're still darks. I mean, they're still browns. They're just a little bit lighter. And I've honestly thought about ordering a blonde palette just because these are still a little bit overpowering, but not too bad. Okay, so still using the angled side, lighter color. We're going to use it at the top up here to kind of blend. And just like I said, when we put our foundation in, or in, we can also blend it then as well. So you're just going to kind of take the very pointed end and kind of put it where you want it and then drag up in little sweeps to kind of get it to where you want it. Okay, trying to make sure these are even here. Alright, now I'm just going to take and kind of line it up with the end, the flat on its side, and kind of drag up a little bit just to kind of get it exactly how I want it. Now, something's funny about this one over here. I'm not sure what it is. Still kind of got that wavy look. Okay, you see that now? Sorry y'all, we are in New York because my husband's working up here and this weather has got my nose and everything just pouring. And keep sniffling. I know that can be aggravating. Okay, see, I just kind of wanted to go in a little bit further to kind of make them even here. Okay. Now, flat end. Takes a minute for it to come into focus for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, flat end of the brush. We were using angled. Let's move to the flat. Back into the wax here. I'll get it out in a minute. Just tap. Really easy. Just really once or twice. You don't have to do as much as I did. And then you're just going to kind of work that into your brows. This is just going to kind of help you place the hairs where you want them. And this is good for both if you overdrew or if you just want to place your natural hairs where they're supposed to go. Okay, can you see this? It's kind of looking a little funky over here. Okay. See, I kind of push some of mine up into the arch, just off the top. You don't want to really mess with the bottom. You kind of want them to stay in line with your bottom line there. Okay, so here are our brows. Now I'm going to go ahead on this video and show you how I highlight them, and then the rest of the highlighting and stuff will be in the foundation cover video. Okay, let me find what I'm looking for here, guys. Let's see. We're gonna need our, okay. So I'm gonna use the Skin Perfecting. Come on, here we go. Can't really see what that says. There it goes. The Skin Perfecting Concealer in Scarlet is the color. Okay, this is the lightest shade, and I just like using the lightest shade because I like to highlight and I like it to kind of stand out. You don't have to do that. You don't even have to highlight them if you don't want to, but I just like the look, just a personal preference. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to use the concealer brush. This is a unique brush. I like it best. It's just kind of rounded. Mine's kind of dirty right now. I haven't cleaned it this week. And I will also be using the unique blender brush. I don't know if you can really see that either. It doesn't want to come into focus for me, but okay. It does not take much of this. This stuff is super, super, super. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of squeeze a tiny, tiny bit, like, I don't know if you can see that, but, and then you'll be able to use like your excess to cover your eye. Okay, so you're going to take this and you're just going to kind of follow the line up underneath here, and I kind of work myself up to it because I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want to like get into my eyebrow that I just worked so hard on. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you see how I did that? You just kind of follow the line. Okay. And you're going to do the same thing for this side. The top part is what's kind of hard to me. It just, I don't know, it's an awkward position. Trying to make sure that y'all can see me and I'm not just like talking to myself over here.
I just finished brushing my teeth.
Okay.
And we're keeping Arrow can see it, not playing with her and stuff.
Awesome, babe. Thank you. Okay, so to kind of make this point here. Okay, see how I did that? Okay. You can kind of take your brush and lay it flat like this. Don't go all the way up to your brow, that way you don't accidentally hit it and then jack yourself up and have to start over again. And you can just kind of lower that into your lid. Okay, see how this is like this? And if you want like a little bit lighter highlight, you can always go back and kind of add in a little bit more concealer if you want to. Like I said, you don't have to. You don't even have to highlight it. Okay, so I'm going to pause and I'm going to do this other eye so you don't have to sit here and watch me work on it too. And I'll come right back. Okay, so now I've done the same thing on both sides. Now we're going to take the concealer, what's left over, just the excess, and just kind of brush it right there on the top of the bridge. I'm going to kind of line this up a little bit. You're just going right over the top. Okay. Now, remember that blend-in brush I was talking about? Okay, we're going to take it, and you see how this line is kind of harsh right here? We're just going to take it and kind of blend it in. You can see I'm kind of going up to my brow a little bit, but you kind of want to be careful so that you don't hit it. Okay, so we're just going to kind of blend that. And the reason you want to blend that is because if you don't, when you go in with your foundation in just a second, you're going to end up with a line that you can't hardly get rid of. And it's just going to be really aggravating and make it look really weird. Okay, so you see how this kind of blends? You don't have a harsh line anymore. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of go in a little bit more right here. Okay. Alright guys, that is your eyebrows. I'm going to go in on a second video and I'm going to show you how to do the foundation and the highlight and the contour. Please note that I'm not freaking fantastic at it, but I'm working on it every day. So practice makes perfect. At least that's what they say. So I will see you in a minute and we will do a foundation and highlight and contour. Bye guys.